Historic, majestic, an architectural masterpiece, the finest residence ever to be constructed in Savannah, Georgia. These are just some of the terms that have been used to describe the Armstrong Mansion. Conceived and built exactly 1 century ago by shipping magnate George Armstrong, and located in the heart of historic Savannah, overlooking the elegant and expansive Forsyth Park. Over the years, this magnificent building has been used as a college, as a performance venue, and even as a law office. Now, distinguished entrepreneur and Savannah native Richard Kessler has become the most recent steward of this monumental building, with plans to restore the Armstrong Mansion, to return it once again to its rightful place as a grand home, a place for entertaining, for guests, special events, a place to inspire.
I mean, you're doing something that really has historic significance, across the nation.
I feel really privileged to be just a small part of its history, and we're going to take it back to what it used to be.
That's right. One of the things that really impressed us the first time we walked through this building was how well preserved it is.
It's really been a discovery, really, in this whole house, because things were covered up. Now you see the gorgeous plasterwork.
Every other restoration or renovation really has always been to change its use, to make it a university, to make it an office. We're putting it back to its original use. 100 years after its original construction date, we start the restoration of 100 years.
I think we have a good surprise ahead of us.
We're on our way.
Okay.
That's right.
In 1916, George Armstrong commissioned Swedish-born architect Henrik Wallin to create one of the finest examples of the Italian Renaissance style in America. Wallin brought the sensibilities of America in its Gilded Age, the Beaux-Arts style, the style that would define a whole moment in American history. You really could look at this building as a rival to any home in the country. In fact, upon its completion in 1919, it was featured in The American Architect. George Armstrong built the home for his family, for his wife, Lucy Camp Armstrong, and their 14-year-old daughter, Lucy, who moved into the mansion upon its completion in late 1919 and gave their first reception on New Year's Day in 1920. George Armstrong would pass away just 2 years after the completion of the mansion. Lucy lived on in the home until 1935, when she deeded it to the Armstrong Junior College. The Armstrong College used the mansion as their flagship building, their namesake. In fact, Richard Kessler, as a young man, took classes in this very building. He recalls a political science class he took there one summer, and he remembers the very room he was in. In 1967, the prominent antique dealer and preservationist Jim Williams buys the Armstrong house and begins a restoration program. He holds it 2 years and then transfers it to the law firm of Bowen, Levy, and Williams. And they would be the stewards of this building for the next 47 years. So in 2017, we begin a 100-year restoration, a journey back to its original details that haven't been seen since George and Lucy Armstrong lived in the home. This space hasn't been opened up since 1935, when the building was converted for use by Armstrong.
Right. This floor was covered in glue-down carpet over white marble. It turned out to be a great thing. We just had to get the glue up, and now we have it covered.
But this is what was underneath the carpet, just this beautiful marble. So it's 3 layers of protection. One, if a liquid is spilled on it, the Homosote is there for impact protection if you drop something heavy on it.
So just preparing the house for restoration involved really protecting every existing historic surface of the building.
So this box serves as protection for this one-of-a-kind marble fountain.
This is a tremendous detail, just in case you didn't already feel like you had stepped into an Italian garden. This is just one more reminder that you have.
So the first time I walked into this room, it was almost too much to take in at once. The vault and ceiling, that feature right there is something that's very unique. If you look really closely at all of this filigree right here, it's all been chiseled by hand. You can still see the chisel marks in it.
As we began work in preparing the garden, we've unearthed some of the old foundations that were remnants left over from the old Jenkins Hall that sat next to the Armstrong mansion.
I think it's really a privilege to all of us to be a part of something like this, to bring it back to life, because it's truly an asset to the city.
Savannah as a city is known around the world for its inspiring inventory of historic structures, and among them, the Armstrong Mansion stands as the preeminent example of the Italian Renaissance style. It's a 3-story structure over a full basement level, so it's nearly 25,000 square feet. The brick is a unique glaze of marble dust, granite balustraded terraces, a broad hemicycle colonnade that reaches out with a gracious arm toward Forsyth Park. This is a building that was built to the highest quality. It was the most expensive residence ever to be built in Savannah. In fact, the front doors alone are executed in solid bronze. They would be the equivalent of nearly $500,000 today. They were one of George Armstrong's favorite features of the home.
One of mine.
On the interior, you have limestone claddings, floor-length windows, ornate plaster ceilings, cornices, panels, friezes, bronze balusters, mahogany handrails. It's a home unlike any other home in Savannah.
Well, it has a European feel to it. So you come in and it has that feel of Paris or London.
And Armstrong imported artisans from abroad for a lot of the details.
Just think how long it must have taken just to do this one ceiling.
Right. Yeah, because it's all done by hand.
Yeah.
Everything's done by hand.
And the interiors really reference several period styles, from the Adamesque to the Jacobean, even arts and crafts, which would have been very contemporary in 1919. The structural form of the building was the first fireproof building to be built in Savannah as a home, cast concrete frame, and the latest technology of its time, even central vacuum. This is amazing to me, but the home was designed originally with central vacuum system in 1917. Very rare system. The whole home is electrified. This is the early age of electricity being incorporated into homes, not using gas. It's a moment in time where architecture is at its finest and technologies are being brought in completely new and unexpected ways.
Who was putting rain-head showers in 1919 in a house? I mean, this is something just in the last few years become popular in America. And all this will get refinished as new again, yes.
This is the Downton Abbey moment of the house. So you have these call circuits.
And there's a special frame that's being restored, but each room would then light up if there was a call and there was some service needed. Revisiting this, what was the best technology of its time, and then thinking about it today, what are the best technologies to bring to a window like this now? Taking glass that was single pane glass, using very high technology polycarbonate films to give it the insulation of a double pane window without having to remove the original or replace the original glass.
You think about when they designed it, every room was a theater in itself. And just like this huge foyer here was really built for entertainment.
Yes.
So you can have concerts right here. You seat 60, 80 people right here in the foyer.
You can have a ball, you can have dancing.
Richard's vision for the project is to make it, once again, a private residence for himself and his collections. But he also intends to open the mansion and share it with an exclusive roster of guests, along with a few high-end events, including special occasions and executive retreats.
Well, I like the fact that he wove in the grapevines and the grapes. It suggests we should have a glass of wine, don't you think?
Richard Kessler, who has personally overseen 7 preservation projects throughout Savannah's historic district, is absolutely the right person to take on this challenging restoration.
His experience with construction definitely made this project pleasant. He's a knowledgeable owner.
He loves the history of this building. I mean, he is preserving one of Savannah's iconic gems.
I'm excited about how we can go back and respect what was there, yet put our own flavor on it also. Yeah.
And make it a living home again.
Yes,
it's a place
right.
you live.
It's a building that's been in continuous service but has gone through many lives. This work brings it back to its original intent.
And I'm so excited about it because you could never have another chance like this in your lifetime, frankly, to be a part of a project like this.
The Armstrong Kessler Mansion is embarking on a journey of 100 years, a journey that brings it home.